Have you ever wondered why people rise into prosperity? Well, people will ask themselves this question: why is it that it's so much easy for people to walk into prosperity or walk into wealth, whereby it's somehow difficult for others to walk into wealth? Well, uh, your questions or your curiosity will be answered in this video. There are reasons why many people walk into prosperity, into wealth, whereby some people, no matter what they do, they will never walk into this reality. Follow me in this video and let me explain these things for you in details. So I welcome you aboard again as we have been embarking on this series, and God has been giving us insight and knowledge. Also, we are gaining understanding in full measure as to what prosperity means. And in today's video, we are going to thought and delve deeply into the reasons why people rise into prosperity. And there are 5 reasons those, although there are more, but there are 5 critical reasons that I found out that makes people to walk into wealth, even at the expense of certain reality that is not there in their lives. I want to pay attention as I explain this thing deeper. There are some people who, by the course of time, chances, opportunities, growth, rise into prosperity because they fall into one of these categories I want to mention now. So people by the course of time and chance, opportunity and growth, things work well for them. Why? Because they fall into these 5 categories I want to mention now. I want you to pay attention very well as I explain deeply all these terminologies one after the other. Number one, the reason why people rise into prosperity is that they are problem solvers. And if you have been following me since the inception of this series, you will find out that I'll be mentioning people who solve problems as people who are going to engage in wealth. Not really supernatural. It's just that you are solving human problem, and the law of money mandated it that people should reward you for solving their problem. They have to. They are obliged to do so. So there are set of people who are conscious of their environment, and whenever they see problem, they always strive to solve it. See that now? So there are people who are very, very conscious of the environment, that whenever they see problem, they are always eager to solve it. Always eager to solve it. And this kind of people, they will always rise into prosperity. No matter the level they start from, even they start at global level, at a local level. For anything you start at local level has the capacity to grow into community level, into national level, and even into international level, and even into continental level. You see that now? So people who are conscious of their environment, and whenever they see problem, they always strive to solve it. They will rise to prosperity. Problem solvers are passion-driven people. See that now? Problem solvers, they are passion-driven people with consciousness of becoming a solution to mankind, rather than to complain or add to existing problem on ground. And in any given country, even if you are a highly consuming country, there are always 2 sets of people in any country. There are people who are problem solvers, who are passionate. They are passion-driven people who have the consciousness of becoming a solution to mankind. And on the other end, there are going to be some people who are always complaining. They will see problem, they will not passionate about solving it, but they complain more. You see something, anytime you complain too much about a problem, is a direct indictment on your life that you are not solving it. And you something, anytime you notice a problem, it is an invitation to you that you have capacity to solve it. Perhaps there are some problems that I will not see naturally or issues naturally because maybe the capacity or the direction of my life does not go in that strength. So I will not even bother. But some people who goes in that strength, they know that this is a problem and I need to solve it. See that now. For somebody who is inside, let's say, a fashion line, anytime they see clothes on people's body, they notice that there's a problem around somewhere because that is their lane. Me, as an ordinary person that's not into fashion, even when I see good clothes, if I see a cloth, I can call it a good clothes because that's not my line of profession. You see that now. But somebody who is in that line, they know a good cloth in people's body, they know a bad one. They know kind of style that fits someone that is slim, know the kind of style that fits someone that is chubby. You see that now. And they know the kind of style that fits someone that is fat. So they know how to solve problem for each person. But for me, I can randomly pick a cloth for people and then I feel and I believe that is good. That means problems are relative to the kind of person you are and the kind of profession you belongs to. See that now. So when you see a problem and then you begin to sense that this thing I can, or let me say you begin to sense that there's a problem somewhere, it's a signature or an invitation to you that you can solve it. See that now. So is that you are solving the problem or you are complaining about it? And while they are busy solving my problem, money always forces its way to them. When you see people who sees problem and they are always eager to solve it, they they have put themselves in a position whereby money will always force itself to their way. Because when you solve human problem, human have to pay you. They have to reward you. You see that now. So, for example, when they identify a water problem in a place, they always want to dig a bore or a well, or they connect a pipe to a water system, or you channel water from a people's area to where the water is needed. They are just overwhelmed by providing any solution to the matter. And prosperity become the nature of those kind of people. So whenever you see problem and you solve it, money is compelled to come your way. You see that now. Uh, People may not understand this so much, but I will try to explain more deeper because uh, let's say for example what I just mentioned earlier, when people see in the community that there is no water, especially in the area like our rural areas in Africa, you will see that uh, people who are ready, except from charity organization or NGO or people that just come to do things for free will, there are some people that they are felt okay, there's lack of water here. Okay, I can gather money, dig a bowl, and I can sell at cheaper price. See that now, or I can buy a lot of uh, pipe to connect water from a right channel and then I pass the piping system to the area that needed it most. See that now. And people have to pay you for it, except that you are doing for charity purpose. People have to pay you. Or for example, somebody who felt like there's a community where they lack transport, or people have to trek a certain kilometers before they can even get a proper transport. And somebody believes to see that okay, this thing I can do it, you can buy a bus or partner with somebody that need half a bus, then they agree into agreeable terms. Okay, what will be my commission? For every passenger, this amount will be my commission. Okay, if you collect 100 naira for this passenger, okay, 10 naira will be my own commission. Let's say 10% of everything you collect from each passenger per commission. You see that now? Because they have solved a problem of human and people have to pay them for it. See that now? Nobody will do it or do it for free without having money. At the same time, as somebody is providing solution to that problem, somebody are complaining as well, complaining that there is no transport system, complaining that there is no nothing like that. Whereas they have, or it's an invitation to them. Sometimes those problems, you may not have all the capacity to solve them, but it is an invitation directly to you that there is something you can do about it. It may not be directly, but you have the capacity to provide solution to that effect. Or somebody felt like in a large area there are no food restaurants, or there's no fast restaurant as it were. People have to kick their bike, kick their car, go as far as 3, 4, 5 kilometers away where they can find food. Somebody can partner with somebody, or somebody can uh, do something, maybe a fast food joint or something like that, that people will beneficiary from. Or there's even a food restaurant in your area, but the food are not good. You see that now? Sometimes it may be food restaurant, but the food are not actually good. People are complaining that these food are not good. Somebody can bring up a good food to that area, and then all the customer will migrate. It's not that they are not a customer. You just migrate from the place that is cooking rubbish to the place that is cooking a good food, and that's all. And that's how life works. So sometimes people are solving problem, but they're not solving it better. Sometimes the problem we even choose to solve is not that people are not solving it, it's because they're not solving it to the taste of people that needed it. So somebody has to rise up again and then solve that problem in a better way. In a better way. See that now. That's why in business there will be always competition. Sometimes some people are selling some groceries very expensive. Somebody too can start another shop, outlet, and then sell at a cheaper price. The same thing, competition. Sometimes there were existing customers for problem you want to solve. It's just that the people that are solving that problem right away are not solving it to the taste of people that want to consume it. So there have to be a change of hand, at least in some areas. So when you see people that are solving problem, money have to compel itself to come their way, because they see problem, they don't complain, they want to solve it. Although at initial level it may cost them some fortune, but at the end of the day, they're going to recover all their money back, because they have put themselves in a certain condition whereby people have to pay them. So people have to pay them, no matter what, no matter the little they want to do, people are compelled to pay them. So the first set of people that always rise into prosperity are people that solve human problem. I think I have mentioned this example before about the richest man in the world right now, Elon Musk. When they ask him why did he do all these things, why is he into business, you would think he say he want to make more money, or you want to do say he want to make life easy for humanity. Although there are a lot of debate around those things, what he's doing and all that, but that's his own vision. How can somebody wake up and want to do a rocket that will launch people into Mars, into the moon, want to have another world inside the moon, inside the Mars? You know, those are out of those are insane kind of thing that human can do. But now that is own thing, and somewhere somehow his company became the most asset, the most richest and wealthiest company you have ever seen on earth. And that might become the most richest person on earth. You see that now. So people like that, they always have fortune around them. They always rise into wealth, no matter what you think, no matter what you think about them, because they are eager to solve human problem. And so that's why that's how it is for men of God as well. Men of God are especially called by God to solve human problem. Although in their own case, it may be large spiritual problem and solical problem. They may not be having anything physical product. Even the physical product, let me say like books, all of that is still meant to control the spiritual state of man and their soul to be transformed majorly. So that now. So problem solvers are keen to enter into wealth against all odds. Now, the second kind of people that always enter wealth are light bearers. light bearers. These are the second category of people that will always enter wealth. Why? Because these are set of people that always carry light around, not just to shine where light is already, but to start moving around where darkness is and receive a huge reward for their selfless and hardworking attitude. So, whenever light bearers spot darkness, they always want to put light there. Light bearers. And let me reminisce from my own hand. When we say light bearers, we're talking about people who God has chosen to be a beacon of solution to the world. They are a beacon of grace. They are a beacon of light. They are a beacon of influence. That wherever they step into, they are not really interested in putting themselves as light where there's already light. They are interested in putting themselves as light where there's already darkness. And you will see it in their lives that these ones are ready. And there's always a huge reward for them, because people who sat in darkness for a long time, when they see light, they appreciate it much more than people that have seen light before, or they see light in a greater dimension. People that have been in darkness all their life, they will appreciate light more better than people who have light before, but they are seeing light in another measure. Because when you put it on the scale, when you weigh both things together, you are going to see that sometimes we don't really appreciate light when we have not tasted darkness. Yeah, we don't really appreciate light when we have not yet tasted darkness. We don't really do so. We just felt like, okay, we have not seen light in dimension before. Okay, that's good job. But people who have been in darkness all their life, even if they see a little light, it looks like a precious stones to them. They cherish with all their heart, because they are not even know what light is. They are not even see it in any direction. They are not even know it in any way. So they want to see it as a golden opportunity for their lives. So light bearers are people that they behave differently. When they see a soup, they will always strive to be the salt. Although they are small, but without them, the soup will taste less. And this is an area where preachers, gospel artists, and men of God find expression. So when I say light bearers, I can't remove the gospel preachers out of the ecosystem of the world, because the moment these people are removed from the world itself will collapse. Number one. Number two, that means it's a sign that God is ready to judge the earth, and this earth will cease to exist. So sometimes to let me say, to the level of God agenda for mankind and the entire world, is that the message of the gospel will be preached to all nations. Perhaps if that agenda have not yet fulfilled, there is no reason for why Jesus to come to earth yet. That means until these people, preachers, gospel artists, men of God, find expression wholeheartedly in every area of the world, every tribe, you will now see that this earth, the real ecosystem of this earth, is not as important as people that we call men of God. Not just for everyone to be in one place shining light, but within the corridor of four corners of the church, but to the dying world out there, and to be the light in gross darkness. You see, not to put men of God on a pedestal like they are a God on earth, but when you understand the gospel, and also somebody who's not a believer or who doesn't understand the gospel will not see it in this perspective. And also the same mandate that God gave to men of God, God gives a little of it to every Christian. that we are giving this gospel mandate for everybody to preach the gospel and make disciples of all nations. And until that is achieved, whereas along the way, some will be won to Christ, some will reject the cross. And quite all right, the Bible has already said something about that. But the question is that everybody must have heard about it. But your willingness to obey or to disobey it, that will not left to you. But God will give everybody equal advantage. So much so that at the end of the day, by the time God begins to judge the earth and He begins to put everybody's work into perspectives, you will not tell God before His throne that you will not hear the gospel. You will rather say that I heard that I did not obey, or I did not obey the clarion call. So, whoever you are, that you are outside Christ, you will never tell God that you not hear Him, because God has made sure that this light was shine everywhere. You will see it, people preach everywhere, every social media now you are going to see preaching. It's just that people choose not to obey. Even the other religion, they know and they see that this light is there, but they don't want it because their heart has been darkened. And that's quite alright. But this area of light bearers, they are kind of people that no matter what they do, they are going to rise prosperity. And what is that? The Bible says, do not muzzle the ox while it tread the ground. And a laborer is worthy of wages. God sees these men as laborers. That is why when you preach the gospel to a certain thing or certain level, there is a portion of reward that God gives to you, or men are compelled to give to you. You see, the work of a minister of God is to make sure that people see the light. And when people see light, they'll be so appreciative, because now they were once in darkness and now they were in light. They are born again, their eyes have been enlightened, their soul is transformed, they are bodily healthy via the work of a man of God, as God worked through him or through her. You are going to see that these people are going to return the favor back to money, because Paul said, if we minister to you spiritual things, you are supposed to minister to us carnal things or material things. Another Bible version says it, material things. That means when you minister to people spiritual things, they will in return back the favor and give you material things. Perhaps on this wise, there is a contentment level that every minister of God should have or must have, even before we call a man of God, because there is other side of it whereby if your eyes is too open to money as a man of God, there is tendency that your message will be corrupted. Number two, there's a tendency that you are going to worship mammon. Number three, there's a tendency that you are going to be bought out of the gospel. So you will still be on the pulpit, but you are already a charlatan. You're already an agent of darkness. Your light has already become dim. That is why there is the gospel of kingdom wealth or prosperity is not complete until contentment is preached. There is a level whereby you must be contented with all you have. There must be contentment. Until contentment is being preached, the gospel of the prosperity is not. That's why when people are hearing all this nonsense prosperity gospel they are preaching about, people just begin to go after money, 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 money. There's no seizure, there is no limit, there's no relax. It's just every day, money, 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 money. That's not true gospel. A true gospel that requires prosperity, as far as Bible preaches, there is a contentment attached to it. That means at every level you must be contented with what you have. Whereas there is still more. Perhaps as God wants to use you, but just know that what God has given you at every point in time should be enough for that season. Very, very important. So a man with light is a man that's going to rise prosperity. So there's amount of level of wealth that God will amount to you as you preach the gospel. This amount of wealth God will release to you as you preached the gospel. So any man with little light will not even value it, or will not know how valuable it is until he step into a thick darkness and everybody begins to appreciate and reward him for little he shines to them. That means light bearers are money magnets and people are compelled to reward them for shining. You see, I read in the book of Corinthians, Second Corinthians chapter, I think I've got chapter now, maybe last three chapter or so. Paul says, I rob other churches to preach gospel to you. What Paul was saying in essence is that somebody paid my way. That means the gospel I'm giving for you for free. A church in Macedonia, they paid for it, and I'm giving you for free. You see that now. So people are compelled to reward. That means people see the work of Paul so important that they were compelled to reward him, pay you. That means somebody who is preaching the gospel must not be finding money up and down. It's against the law. That is why when people begin to struggle a lot in ministry, I always ask them, number one, did God call you? Number two, what did God tell you on how you are going to be financed? Because it's very, very important. It's not important for you to hear the call. You must also ask God, how am I going to finance myself, finance the gospel, my family? Especially when God is calling you to a full-time ministry where you're not going to do anything. You have to ask God before you launch out. God, I'm not going to work again, but what are the things that are going to be for my sustenance? Very, very important. So that in the time where everything is hard, you will know what it is to do for sustenance. See that now. So people with light, sometimes no matter how little it is, they will not even know how valuable it is. And I'm a testimony to it over my years. Even before I come to ministry, when I was just a Christian brother, like I am now today, just coming up as a Christian brother, I knew I never knew the value of the light I carry. Perhaps those days I just study Bible, do my thing, and whenever they give me Bible study to do, I preach with all passion. Whenever they ask me to do something, I do it all sincerity. I just do it as much as I can. But I felt that my preaching begin to affect people. People go to see how far they have fallen off their Christian journey and how far they have gone. Begin to give me gifts, accord honor to me, and don't feel like I feel like what am I doing that's so special? Until years later, when I enter ministry, I begin to see that these things were actually valuable. It is me that I do not see it as something valuable, but people that I'm doing this to, they see value in them, and God has made sure that that thing affect their life positively. Now they are rewarding back. You see that now. So there is a level. There is a realm you will get to whereby, as a man of God, no matter how small your ministry is, it will, even just 10 people, they are going to be appreciative. They are going to be appreciative. They are going to see it as something big. Whereas sometimes I will do something, preach some sermon, like this thing, like, what did I do? Just a normal message. But to them, it's as though through that sermon, God is answering their prayer. It's as though God is putting solution to their problem. It's as though they are receiving wisdom through that sermon. So that's when I begin to know that, so this 1 hour message, 2 hour message, it really affects people more than what I even prepare for. Maybe God just amplify my voice, amplify the message beyond what I even prepare for, and it's meet people's need. And there are people to realize, I begin to, return back the favor, and to God be the glory. It almost me a lot, because I don't even know that it has gone to that extent. I don't even know. See that now. So that's how it is. So light bearers will always rise in prosperity with contentment with it. Don't forget, with contentment with it. So that is second people that always rise into prosperity. So the third kind of people that always rise into prosperity are called the value givers. The value givers. Now, many people will say, what do you mean by value givers? Value givers are always at the top of any reward in any organization, in any agencies, any settings that you see that people come together and work for something for a goal. What makes them come together is on the verge of value or providing value. I always find out that people come together to achieve a common goal. That goal will result to value, and that value will bring in money eventually. So when people come together, they always come to offer value. So value givers are men who through wisdom or gift or talent or skills or special abilities or an area of complement or competence offer services to men and receive their reward. So value givers, they are people whether they have wisdom, they have gifts, they have talent, they have special abilities, or they have one or two area of competence that they can offer services to men, to people, and they will receive their reward. Think about it. Anytime you see people that have gifts, that have talents, that have skills, one or the other, they always be at the verge of receiving people's reward. We have many people in this category. We have many people in this category, even in sport industries. Now in sport industries, we have various athletes across different areas. You have athletes, you have football, we have lawn tennis, we have boxing, we have rugby, we have golf, we have cycling, we have cricket, we have volleyball, the NBA guys, we have hardball, we have snooker, we have table tennis, we have javelin, we have sprinters. No, the list is ending. The list is ending. Whenever you see Olympic coming, you will see different athletes in different fields. These are what we call value givers. And what is their goal? Their major goal and assignment is always to give value, and they always rise with it. And in this kind of people, you will see that what they got is not only prosperity, they get the generational wealth and they have influence. Let me take football as an example. Let me take advanced country who pay their footballers well. Let's say for England, the UK, Spain, France, Germany. I think there are top football clubs there that paid their player very well. I think there is a football club in Spain. I think like Barcelona, like Real Madrid. They pay as high as £200,000, £300,000, £500,000 for their top players. Those players, they have families, and sometimes their family are not actually working. They depend on the wages of this player because they are paying enormous money. It's like they are paying them additional wage. Number one, as a footballer, uh, you have a short career. Footballer actually plays between 15 to 20 years on professional level. That's highest. Between 15 to 20 years maximum, except from rare cases. 15 to 20 years maximum on professional level. And when they are on this professional contract, they are being paid huge. Apart from small clubs who are being paid, who pay their players less, these people are paid. And then After, apart from they are being paid that huge, second thing that I found in them is that um they are being paid generational wealth and they have influence. Do you know the level of influence a footballer will now, right now, that if a footballer, a well-known footballer enter a country, they always regard them with honor and respect. That means these people, they earn more than what they even deliver, because they are value givers, and because by virtue of time and chance and opportunities, they find themselves at the top level. They find themselves at the top level. So both in lawn tennis as well, I think we have lawn tennis people like Roger Federer, like Serena Williams. I can't remember the Rafael Nadal. I think I can remember. Sometimes even in golf, you have like what's the name of this guy? Tiger Woods. I don't remember much of those golf guys. Sometimes in boxing, you have people like Mayweather, Pacquiao, like Anthony Joshua. What else again? Um, what is this undisputed belt guy? Usyk. Usyk. No, they are like they are being paid well. One fight they can pay them as early as $50 million, $80 million, $100 million, depending on how they fight. See that now. Imagine just how many seconds are going to use per round inside. Sometimes you are going to knock people out in maybe fifth round or sixth round, and that's barely maximum of 5 minutes. Just 5 minute fight, then you earn $80 million. No, that's very huge. But no, the training was intense. Everything they passed through to get to that stage was intense. But the fight itself did not even last up to 10 minutes, and they are being paid very huge. You see that now. So those are value givers. They give their value what they know how to do best, and then people reward them for it. Also in the media and entertainment industry, also we have musicians, we have radio presenters, we have actress, we have dancers, we have comedians, many more like that, that they are inside this entertainment industry. But entertainment industry as is well, um is very huge industry, very part industry, especially when you are an actor, you are a musician, comedian, or that. They are being paid well. You see, we have many top actors in Nollywood. They are being paid millions of dollars for per role. We have top actors in Bollywood, in Nollywood, in any country. We see that there's a top actors in those countries who are being paid very high. And depending on the industry you belong to, there's somebody that won't pay you, even though you're not well known. Just depend on the role you play in the movie and the kind of money that the movie generates at the end of the day. So these people as well, they don't only even have money on the tongue, they have influence. You see that now. If you go to any given country, the face of on the billboard, on any poster, will be the face of the maybe actors there or musicians that are well known there. You see that now. Whenever they want to do adverts for a product or a company, they need influencers, or they need people who are well known on social media. It is these guys that they only use for that kind of event, or they want to do some promotions and they want to advertise. These guys, so they have more than money, they have influence as well. They have influence, and this is social media age whereby your face can be widely accepted for what you do. Whether you're a comedian, you're an actor, or you are a musician, the all people who are, or a radio presenter, yeah, radio presenter as well. There are people that they were known for what they are doing, and they were being rewarded accordingly for what they do for people and what they do well. So value givers are people by the reason of their inherent or trained abilities have sharpened their skills enough to attract the reward of men. Sometimes in this value giver, what really Sometimes in their as they progress in their field, sometimes what they actually attract first is not even money. What they attract first is attention, is fame. Sometimes, let me say for football as example, you first attract fame before it even give you real money sometimes. Maybe because of your work rate, the goal you score, how people know you, then they pay for your influence. Sometimes if you see these guys, they who have played well in Europe, and then they found out that a club in Saudi Arabia want to pay them more. Now, the clubs in Saudi Arabia is not paying them for what they can even do on the pitch. They're just paying them for their fame because they need their name to grow their own, what they call it now. They want you to grow their own league. Same to go to Chinese league. Also, they use money to attract these big guys from Europe, and then they use it to develop their league as well. So you see that these people, they have fame. It's like even their fame that pay them more, not actually what they do or what they are even doing correctly. See that now. Also, same goes to musicians. Sometimes musicians, before they even see money, they must have fame. Yes, they must have fame. Sometimes money come after the fame comes because it is fame that first come before money actually come. Because when you are now famous, people now will need to pay you for your fame, not because of anything. Same goes to actors. Actors in film, they must have done many movies that it does not even make sense. But if a movie can bring out their fame and people know them, and you see that the movie they have done before did not even really pay them well, but the one that make them famous, and any movie after that, you are going to attract more reward, more prosperity, more money because of fame has come. Now they are now at a leverage of commanding more reward because of how they have grown or what they have become by being famous. See that now. So sometimes in this people category, it is fame that comes first before the reward, and it can be that also for some many people who are giving value. And it is fame that always sometimes come before the reward. Also, value giver does not end there. People that are in fashion line, they are value givers as well. People that are in food industry, they are value givers as well. People that are in transportation industry, they give value as well. People that sell groceries, they give value as well. People that own bakery, they give value as well. So it does not end in people that are known, like they are known on media. It's also in people that don't know, but they are part of the ecosystem. They are part of the economy. They make it go wide because all of us will not be a musician, all of us will not be a footballer, all of us will not be a rugby star, all of us will not be a BA star, all of us will not be a lawn tennis star, but all of us have different what we do, and then we have our contribution to the ecosystem. See that now. So value givers are people that always contribute to humanity with their because of their gift, their talent, their abilities, or what they have trained for, or what they have sharpened their skill for enough that they know that this thing can attract the reward of people. So those are what we call value givers, and they are very essential to humanity. So the third kind of people that always attract prosperity, attract wealth are what we call the value givers. The value givers. The value givers. Majority of the world is this category. Majority of the world is category value givers. Value givers. Don't forget value givers. Now, the fourth kind of people that always rise into wealth is power reserves. Power reserves. Yeah, power reserves. I know that you'll be expecting and be curious. What do you mean by power reserve? I will explain better. Power reserves. Um, Power reserve, or let me say, people reserve power to be in control of wealth and dominance of money, especially when it comes to public funds. And not only in politics, places like royal families or business empires that involve the highest shareholder to be the chairman, whether organizational or non-organizational setting. What do I mean by that? I mean that sometimes people who are in control of wealth, who are in control of dominance, they reserve the power for people that are coming after them. That's what I mean. What do I mean by that? When you see a people in royal family, except some certain culture, when you are from royal family, that means you are confident. You are to be um you are to be an heir to the throne. So that means no matter what happens, you are next in line to be a king or a queen, whatever it is. And that system, that royal system, is making sure that wealth and dominance does not leave a particular family. For example, let's say British, let's go at British Royal Empire. You see that the in the British Royal Empire, it has always come from one particular family, and those families are always in charge of the monarchy system in the British uh, royal family. That means no matter what you do, you are always being in line to become a king or a queen, as a matter of fact. And then that system is make sure that kingship, or let me say royalty, does not leave this family. Let's go to the Arab country whereby they practice this royal something of a thing. You see that there are a certain kind of family that this royal thing must not leave. That means as you are being given birth to, whether you do anything or not, you are always rising in prosperity by chance because of where you are being born into. So that what we call power reserves. So by the virtue of where you are being born into, you are already rising into wealth because you are born into a royal family. You will be trained into a royal way. You will master the royal economy. You will master the royal act, and then you will rise to prosperity. Sometimes they don't even do anything. They just wake up, dress themselves, and walk into wealth. That's just it. And also, as unfortunate as it may be, this example also goes to politicians. Politicians sometimes in the corrupt places like Africa, let me say the most corrupt like Africa and some Latin America, you will see that politicians always have that same mentality. After they enter the office, they steal much as they can, and also they steal for their children, and also they make sure that the office they are living still evolve around their children or their family members. And also when they are in office, they can buy some position for their children. Do that now. So, and some people will be most qualified, but that job will not be for them because these people they are reserving power for their children. Unfortunately so. So in this junction, some people are gullible, they are greedy, they are self-centered to make sure that power did not roll out of their family. And that is one of the things you will see mostly in many politicians, especially in Africa and Latin America. And it's always dominant also in part of Europe. They always make sure that power did not go out of their family. So when they are about to leave a position, they will still make sure that their children inherit the same position they left behind. That is why when you see some certain position in Nigeria or in Africa or in other part of the world, you will see that you will never see some certain position being announced as vacancy. You will never see. You will never see that they announce vacancy for it. You will never see it. Why? Because as people are leaving, they are already putting somebody that going to replace them in that same position. And mostly it's going to be their children. So you see that somebody is leaving the office, and then you will think that there will be vacancy for that office. Or you see that as soon as they leave office, somebody just occupy the position. And you are wondering. That's why there's a certain top job level that you never see on the internet that they are need vacancy, because people are always already queuing, and those queue are their children or their family members. So some people hold on to power and reserve. Some people hold on to power and reserve until their children is ripe enough for it, no matter how long it may be. So people hold on to power and reserve the power long enough to see that their children ripe enough to hold that power. So that you see that people, they don't want to leave office. Sometimes they have a way to trigger and elongate their time. Even when the time for them to retire comes, they will elongate their time so much so that their children will be ripe enough to ascertain that position from them. People do that a lot, and this is the secret behind the wealth of many unbelievers. You will always see this thing behind the wealth of many unbelievers who find themselves faithful to the righteous mammon by reason of their worldly wisdom, while many believers who is in their ignorance covet and begin to envy their wealth without understanding, and eventually begin to blame God for injustice of not being good to them. You see, the secret behind the wealth of many unbelievers, or this is why you see that some unbelievers wealth have not yet left them, is because of this understanding power reserves. Many unbelievers, they are so wise. Bible call them this of this world, they are wise in their approach. They always have a way to make sure that wealth does not leave their family, and they do it systematically. So as soon as they are leaving the position, they are putting their children there, their family, to make sure that wealth does not leave, and they will steal enough. Politicians, they will steal enough, and they will still make sure that their children continue the stealing. You know, it can be funny at times, and sometimes it can be painful. Whereby some people will be much more qualified, they'll be needed, they will be, I don't know what to call it, they will be they'll be signed. Yet people don't even deserve that position, deserve that money, they keep having it because they understand power reserves. They understood power reserves so much, even more than many believers. So when you see some people in wealth, it's not because they rise into that prosperity because they do something serious. It's just that they are in position, or they are in beneficiary of certain people who have got ahead of them, either their father or their grandfather or their relatives, that has made sure that a position is being created for them that will make sure that these people are in control of this wealth. Also, in business empires, you will see that also. Sometimes in a business empire whereby it requires many investors, you see that the highest shareholder in that kind of empire will not want because in the rule of business, if you are the highest shareholder, you are the major person there, you are going to be in control many times. You are going to be in control many times. Sometimes they will not want the power reserve to shift away. So they begin to buy shares for their family so that their family can be in charge of that business empire or in charge of that organization. So as soon as they have their shares intact, that means they they will begin to make sure that they they are in charge of that organization. So you see that even business owners they have this mentality as well. They want to buy shares for their family and their family will be part of that thing. Even though most of the families don't even know a jack about the business, but they want to buy it in their name so that they can be having power reserves to them. So people rise into prosperity by power reserves. So when you have people or you have men who in turn they have know how to reserve power for you, you are going to rise to do it. And that does not mean that you know what you are doing or you have done anything good to warrant it. It's just that you are you are being lucky to be part of a setting, a cohort of people who have learned to distribute wealth by reserving power for people that are coming behind. You see that now. So the fourth kind of people that rise to prosperity are people with power reserves. People with power reserve. Power reserve. They are the fourth kind of people that rise. Let me say that always rise into prosperity, and they make sure that prosperity, that wealth does not leave that that cohort, that circle. It won't go beyond it. It will always evolve around them, and it will be transgenerational, even to their children unborn. That's how it's going to be every time, especially royal families, especially politicians, especially public office holders. They have this mentality and they have created system around it to make sure that this evolves from one generation to another. Even though when they are long gone, it's going to work out. So the fourth category that rise with prosperity are power reserve. Now, the last category of people that always rise into prosperity are people who enter wealth either by inheritance or by legacy. Now, this is synonymous to the fourth one, the power reserve, but this one, the this one, the fourth one can be that you are in a court. Sometimes it can be some illegal way, but this one it is legal and it happens everywhere in the world. It's not limited to a certain kind of people, whereas sometimes it can be limited, but not always limited. And people who are in this category of inheritance and legacy are people who rise to prosperity by because their fathers or their forefathers left a business firm behind for them or left a investment behind for them. Many people by lucky are born. Many people by luck are born into a wealthy family and without doing anything, but by privilege of birth, inherited large quantity of fixed assets. And you will see people who have built business from scratch. Sometimes they will not even be the most beneficiary of that business. By the time the business will reach a stage where it's going to yield more money, they may have been old. Then their children will continue, then their children will follow suit. So people who follow the kind of people, they are just privileged of birth. And then they found that the family they have given birth to, they inherited large quantity of fixed assets. Some large quantity of assets are they may be landed properties, it may be houses, maybe fleet of cars, maybe machineries, maybe industries, and also it can be other assets that can appreciate in value. As time proceeds, sometimes can be valuable like gold, like jewelries, diamonds, expensive clothes, wristwatches, name it. Sometimes those things they appreciate as time, especially if you have a if you retain something like gold, every time, every day and night, gold appreciate in value. Sometimes they can leave behind you oil wells. So they are asset that appreciate in value. And when these people leave it behind, the people that go to inherit it, they inherit this asset not because they work for it, but because somebody left a legacy behind for them. So all these and many more are called power, and they can be diverted into monetary value. So imagine somebody left a landed property for you, let's say land, a lot of land, let's say fleet of cars, let's say industries, let's say oil wells, let's say machineries. These things can be sold for money. See that now. So that's what we are called power. And they can still remain as an asset as the owner wishes. And while on the other side of the coin, we have fathers, our forefathers who died and left behind them liabilities and huge debts before their grave. That means they have sold the destiny of a generation after them to pay their debts. That's why the Bible says, a good man leaveth an inheritance, even to his children. Not only his children, even to his children. That means a forefather can die and leave assets like gold, jewelries, land, properties, cars, everything behind for children. And the same vein, a father too can die and left debt behind for children to pay. Unfortunately so. So there are some people that they rise into wealth not because they do anything, just that they leave their father's property, their father's wealth, their father's business, and they continue. Not because they work for it or they actually suffer to get it done. Just that somebody has suffered it and built a structure that makes sure that money keep coming in and they inherit it and they continue the work. See that now. So there are sometimes some people left behind themselves gold, expensive houses that can be converted to money at any time. So that's what we call inheritance. And we have people like that, they are just being lucky to be giving back to in those kind of family. Not because they do anything serious or they do anything that warrant that kind of wealth. It's just that they were given back to by privilege. And also, people like that, they are not always in position to teach people about wealth creation because they're not part of the process. The people that can teach depth about wealth creation are people that suffer for that thing. You just inherit it. That is why it's a certain I'm not disclosing the name. A certain son of a man of God in this country began to teach about how to start, and he was teaching with all arrogance. And if you do and do and this one, this one, and then you just work for you, and people begin to lament his teaching style. You know why? Because people begin to believe that what are you saying? You just got lucky because your father worked for this, not because you do anything serious for it. See that now. So they just feel like okay, this people work, and people mock him, and people who called him a privileged child. You know why? Because what he is enjoying is not because he worked for it, it's just because somebody worked for it and you are being beneficial to it, not because you do everything. You're not even yet born when this person was working at this ministry. That now, and people told him point blank that you are not in good position to teach us about sources, and it's true because his preaching was very flawed, very flawed. But you now see that when his father teaches about this thing, the message was undiluted. It was genuine because it was his father that worked for all these things from the scratch. And people believe that you understand these things so much more than your son. That is why anybody who have not yet suffered for success, or let me say, who have not failed enough, is not in good position to teach about success. You cannot teach about success because you have not failed enough. You don't have experience to carry me out of where I am. That is why a great teacher are people who have experienced what people are asking about, not theory. You have experience. You know what people are. Bible says we have not yet have an high priest that are not been touched by the feelings of our infirmities. There are people that they have been touched with what you are passing through. They are in position. Their teachings are more than theory. They have experience to back up what they are saying, and they know what you are feeling. That is why when you go for consultancy, they know what you are feeling. A great consultant is people that are past what you are passing through. Even without reading anything, they can prescribe what and what to do, and it will work because they have been there before and they know what is wrong. You see that now. So people who inherit properties, they may not have the perfect standing on how things works, but by virtue of where they were given birth to, they enjoy it. Except that the father took another mysterious steps and made sure that they passed through another stage whereby they have to learn, or they have to feel what it takes to start from scratch. Sometimes some fathers can take their son out of the house and take him far away to go and learn life. So that we not just think that by privilege you are just enjoying life. No. Just taste a little bit about others' life, how people suffer. Then come back home and have a balanced wisdom, a balanced perspective to life. Sometimes many rich people they handicap their parents. Many rich parents they handicap their children. Why? Because they make everything too easy for them. And one thing that when you make everything too easy for your parents, what you left behind, they're going to sell it and squander it. That's pure fact. Pure fact. But they just think life is just all rosy for them. They will not know that what is you are saying that is rosy for you was because some people actually take advantage and work it out. That is why if you are a father, you are a mother, you are a parent that want to leave a little behind for your children, make sure you balance their understanding. Let them taste a little, even just 1 month. Let them see life outside the convenience, outside the comfort we for them. But they will appreciate people who are suffering, people who are starting out, and they will have a balanced understanding of how life really works. You see that now. So people who enter wealth does not enter it because they work for it. Sometimes they enter because it was an inheritance. It was a legacy and they were enjoying it. It was actually a legacy and they were enjoying it. So these are the 5 category of people that rise into prosperity. And I believe that you will fall into one of these category. Either you're a problem solver, or you are a life bearer, or you are a value giver, or you are a beneficiary of power reserve, or you are a beneficiary of inheritance and legacy. So you are going to be part of this thing. And if you are in Africa, largely you are going to be part of the first 3 things I mentioned. You will not likely fall into the power reserve or the inheritance because you have forefathers that don't leave anything behind for you. Some even leave debt for you. Some leave the money for you. Some leave bad name for you. That you have to even work yourself out to even start from minus before you even enter plus. See that now. So these are the 5 kind of category of people that always rise into prosperity. And the next time we meet, we are going to talk about the hindrances to kingdom prosperity. Yeah, there are many hindrances that have come into the ways of people. Let me say that many things that have hindered people to enter kingdom prosperity. especially if you're a Christian, that video is for you, because what may be hindering you may not necessarily be any demon anywhere. It's just that you have certain things that have become hindrances for you to enter kingdom prosperity. So until next time we meet, I'm going to share this thing with us, and we're going to have a lot of blessed time together. I believe that you have already learned one or two things. Thank you for joining us, and then I believe you have your value for time. Until next time we meet, stay blessed and remain calm. God bless you. Bye for now.